This is my 12.1 assignment on the digestive system and the journey food takes from start to finish. So the process starts with the mouth, and this is also known as the buccal cavity. So here, when food enters the mouth, it triggers the salivary gland and saliva is secreted. The saliva contains amylase. This is an enzyme which helps break down carbs, so the food is being broken down into smaller pieces where it can then be passed down to the next step in the process. So here we have the pharynx, which is also the throat. The pharynx receives food from the mouth and passes it down to the esophagus through swallowing. The pharynx receives food from the mouth and passes it down to the esophagus. So this is a muscular tube which carries the food from the stomach and does so by muscular contractions called peristalsis. Next we have the stomach, and this is known as an acid bath because it contains hydrochloric acid and protease. This means that when food enters the stomach, it is being broken down even further. The stomach has then created a liquid-like mixture known as chyme, and this is then the right consistency to be passed down into the small intestine. The liver is part of the digestive system where the food doesn't pass through. However, it processes the blood containing all the nutrients absorbed in the food from the small intestine. In the liver, bile is produced and then secreted into the small intestine. Bile helps digest the fats. The liver is also known as the body's chemical factory, as it can detoxify harmful chemicals which are found in the blood. So next we have the kidneys, which go alongside the liver, as they also help remove potentially harmful chemicals, acting as a filter. And the other functions a kidney has is extracting waste from the blood, balancing bodily fluids, and releasing hormones into the blood system. So here we have the gallbladder, and this acts as a storage for excess bile produced in the liver. So if there's too much bile, it travels into the gallbladder where it will be stored until it receives a message from the small intestine saying it is needed. So bile's main function is to absorb the fats which are in the foods, and these are the hardest to break down, and secondly, it carries waste which cannot be filtered by the kidneys. Here we have the pancreas, which is the main factory where all the digestive enzymes are kept. The pancreas is able to secrete the enzymes into the small intestine. It also creates insulin, which goes straight into the bloodstream. This will help metabolize the sugars. The enzymes which are secreted are shown on the screen. So we have protease, which breaks down proteins into amino acids. Then we have amylase, which breaks down carbohydrates and makes them into glucose or simple sugars. Then we have lipids, which are fats, also known as lipase, and this breaks down into fatty acids. So here we have the small intestine, and this furtherly breaks down food using enzymes secreted by the pancreas and the bile from the liver. The muscular contractions, peristalsis, also occur here, moving food down to the next stage. The duodenum, which is the first section of the small intestine, is used to receive the chyme from the stomach, and the final part of the small intestine is the cecum, which absorbs the remaining fluid, so therefore it is now a semi-solid, the food that's been digested so far. The other job of the small intestine is to separate the good and the bad. So going on to the large intestine now. This connects the small intestine to the rectum. Its main function is to process the waste and make sure the process is quite a simple, smooth one. Peristalsis also occurs here, making sure that the stool can smoothly be passed through. And as well as this, the last of the water is removed, so therefore it is now a complete solid. Toxins and harmful bacteria are separated and removed, and the final stage in the large intestine is releasing the stool into the rectum. The process of elimination is now ready to begin. The rectum sends a message or a signal to the brain letting the person know that the stool is ready to be released and excretion can occur. If the brain decides it is ready for the stool to be expelled, then the rectum sphincters will relax, releasing the stool. However, if not, they will contract and the stool will remain in the rectum, where it will wait until another message or a signal is sent to the brain. Finally, we have the anus, and this is the final stage of the digestive process. This is a 2-inch canal which consists of the pelvic floor muscles and 2 anal sphincters, the internal and external. This is the final stage of expelling the stool. Thank you for watching. That is